So everyone, good morning. How are you today? Very nice to see you. Today is May 5. I was wondering, what should I talk? May 5, Cinco de Mayo? Did I pronounce okay? Or Children's Day. Did you see the board? It says Children's Day. But I thought, I want to talk about the very common subject to everyone, which will be maybe happiness. Happiness. So my title today is, Are You Truly Happy? The key word is truly. I'm not asking you simply, are you happy? I'm asking you, are you truly happy? Right? And then also, how can you measure your true happiness? Well, let's think about it. All right. So before that, let me ask you, Dharma School students, okay, help me. When do you think you're happy? Yes? Birthday coming? When you get the present for birthday? Is that what you say? Okay, very good. Yes, right there. When you are with the family, very good. Some people, some other people, can you participate? It's a lot of happiness, right? Yeah, well, let's think about it. Everybody knows did you know the gross national happiness? There is such an indication index, like a GNH. GNH is gross national happiness. This is the way they measure everyone's true happiness. So Bhutan country, the government annually surveys to measure their people's happiness in 9 categories. I will talk about 9 categories today, all right? But on the other hand, you must know GNP. Do you? What's that? What does it stand for? It's a gross national product, right? So GNP is a kind of value of all the goods or services made by a country's residents and businesses. It's very much materialism. So most likely, the people, what makes me happy when I make a 6-digit salary a year? I'm sure it makes me happy. If I get a better car, it makes me happy. If I get a nice house, that makes me happy. That's another happiness. But today, I want to talk about a true happiness. All right. So, this Bhutan country, do you know where the Bhutan is? Have you ever heard the country Bhutan? Have you? Have you ever been there? No? So, let me show you. This is a tiny country on an eastern Himalaya. Okay. So you see that, the little, map there? It's above the India and below China. So that's the eastern Himalaya and kind of like, Lucky and mountain countries. And the interesting thing is about the population, about 75% is a Mahayana Buddhist. We are the same, the Mahayana Buddhist. And then 22% is a Hinduism. All right? So let me show. This is how the young Buddhists look like, monks. And this sect particularly is called Vajrayana Buddhism. This is probably similar to Dalai Lama, I think. I'm not sure about those areas, but Vajrayana Buddhism. And then Bhutan. This Bhutan country chose to remain isolated from the rest of the world for many centuries. That makes this Bhutan to maintain one of the most intact ecosystem in the world. So it's a wild life. It's a lot of natures in there. So in this Bhutan, they measure the people's real happiness in 9 categories. I just downloaded the questionnaire. What kind of question they ask? You can easily access to Bhutan GNH questionnaire and internet. About 40 pages questions in here. So 9 categories is sort of like I will explain briefly. And one is, as you know, health, right? Health is very important. Physical health, mental health has to be balanced to feel real happiness, right? And number 2 is education. Every country, they always have a good education system, and particularly the Bhutan is also include a non-secular institution, such as a monastic schools as well. So some of the students go to monastic school to study Buddhism. And then also time use. That's a very interesting survey. Survey asks you, when you get up, say 6 o'clock, and there's some diary, you're gonna write it down. I got up 6 o'clock, 6:30, I had exercise, 7 o'clock, I had a breakfast, 8 o'clock, I went to school, I went to the work, and I worked until 5 o'clock, and after that, what did I do? I had a dinner with my parents and, my wife and spouse and family, and then afternoon I enjoyed the movie, read books, and, working on the internet and something like that. So you make a diary about 7 days, okay? It's a very interesting factor. How do you use your everyday 24 hours? And then also, cultural diversity. Cultural diversity is this Bhutan country also. There's a lot of immigrants from China and India, I think. So they always try to have a nice harmony with other culture as well. Very respected behavior. And then also ecological diversity. It's very important. Go green, pollution, environmental responsibility, and then take care of all the dangerous species and wildlife. And then also good governance. This is also political participation and political freedom and government performance. And the next one is community vitality. Sort of, are you happy with social support, community relationship? That's it. And then, interesting, living standards. Also, you have to have a certain income to live in decent life, and then you need an asset, and you need a housing quality as well. Those are so far I introduced 8 categories. The last one I thought is very important and interesting is psychological well-being. Psychological well-being. I want to talk about a little bit more in details. This psychological well-being is, I thought, probably this is a spirituality. So I thought, what is spirituality means to me? To me, it's a little vague. What does it mean? So I checked a little bit, and spirituality includes a sense of connection to something bigger than ourselves. It may be a universal human experience, something that touches all of us, involving a search for meaning in life. That's what spirituality means. So when I read this one, when I was in early 40s, I felt something missing in my life. People can call it a midlife crisis, something like that. So probably I started looking for spiritual path, or looking for something true that can anchor me, no matter what happens to me. and looking for something real where I can take refuge. Probably I was looking for some spiritual path, early 40s. You know, early 40s, my life halfway done, and how many years to go? What have I done so far? That's the time I start looking my back in my past, and how many years I can live. I must have thought so. And what should I do for the rest of my life? That's all the questions came out to me in my early 40s. I think that's a calling from the spiritual path. So I worked on a little bit in Buddhism, and it turned out to be the path is being Ishin Buddhist. So talking about this spirituality and going back to the Bhutan survey, what kind of question they ask you to check your spirituality? One is, are you able to concentrate on what you're doing? Yeah, well, it's hard. Sometimes I do something this, and oh yeah, I got a call, and I got to email something else. I have to do something else, and I don't know what I was doing before, right? And concentration is always missing in my life too. Try to concentrate what I'm doing, and try to concentrate what I have to do for the rest of my life. And next question is, can you sleep well? If you sleep, very good. Sometimes I can't go to sleep because my habit is sometimes to get up in the middle of the night, and I start writing some kind of article at 2 o'clock, and then go to bed at 4 and get up 6 o'clock. So it's just sometimes it's not, I don't get enough sleep, but can you sleep well? That's another question. Please ask yourself, can you sleep well, deeply? How often do you recite prayers, right? Yes, we just did it. We chanted Junyalai together. Isn't it wonderful? We did today. You know, how often do you practice meditation? We do meditation time this morning, 8:30, and then we have a meditation Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, if you like, wants to come. So OCBC provides all the tools and method for your spirituality. Okay, you can do meditation at home too. You can do meditation at your workplace as well. I do sometimes in my office, 5-10 minutes after lunch, and I do meditation a little bit. Very good idea. And then, how often do you visit local temple and other places of spiritual significance in your community? Sure, you're doing right now. You're coming to OCBC and listen to the Buddha Dharma. See, Bhutan people thinks going to local temple and praying and hearing the Buddha Dharma is significant, very important in your life. And then in the past years, how many days did you attend and receive religious teaching? Those are all we are doing here too. As a part of that, developing your spirituality, your inner true happiness, we are doing every day here, every Sunday, every day at your home too. And survey also asks you the emotional experience. During the past 4 years, how often have you felt the following moods and emotions? Did you feel anger? Did you feel selfishness, jealous, fear, worry, sadness? Or you felt calmness, compassion, forgiveness, contentment, generosity? Those are the questions. So you have to take a look at yourself. How was it this week, last week, 4 weeks? If you remember, that means you have to sort of examine your mood every day. If you have a calm mind, you can do that, right? So you always pay attention how you feel inner self. So I thought it's very interesting questionnaires that Bhutan country asks their people how spiritually happy, truly happy their people are. So in this time, I want to talk about a Shinran's true happiness. You know, who is Shinran, you know? Shinran is our founder, Shin Buddhism. And Shinran wrote a lot of books, and one of the books is called Kyoyo Shinsho. It's a magnum opus, and in there, he expressed a few areas, very few areas, about his true happiness. He mentioned about how joyous I am. I found the great ship prepared by Amida Buddha for me. So this is a great ship. It's not a small ship. It's a big ship, which Mahayana ship. Amida Buddha gave it to me. And you can imagine, so like a cruise ship, everybody can get in. And then we're getting ahead. Destination is the same. Buddha Dharma, enlightenment, Buddha's land. Destination is the same. And he goes, I can get on with other people to access across the ocean difficult to cross. So he said, not only me get in, I want to take other people with me, and let's cross this ocean difficult. Means this world. You can imagine that this world has a lot of challenges, difficulties in your life, and we call this one is the ocean of birth and death. But in the ship, with everybody, we can cross this difficult world. A lot of happiness, a lot of difficulties. We can go together and then head into the same direction together. That's his happiness. And then also, he goes, I thank all my teachers for guiding me to this ship. He said, I couldn't find this great ship by myself, but luckily I had a teacher, very wonderful teacher, who guided me to this ship. I want to thank you, all the teachers, all the karmic conditions leading me to this great ship. And then he goes, what a deep joy to have been able to receive spiritual liberation here and now. Here and now. This here is in this world, and now is in this life. So that's his true happiness. True happiness. Very true happiness. He always say, high joyous. He always use the word joy. Deep joy means his true happiness. So even we get a spiritual liberation here and now, Shinran doesn't say, yes, I got enlightened in this world, or I'm a Buddha now. He never says so, right? Instead, I got a ship, great ship, I'm on it, easy path, and guiding me toward the enlightenment and toward becoming the Buddha. I got a ship here and now. That's his happiness. So every time I read this quotation, really makes me happy too. I am on the same ship, great ship, with Shinran, with all of you, this Sangha together. We are led by the Buddha's deep vow, and we are all heading to the same Buddha Dharma, enlightenment, complete nirvana, right? So, in this Dharma message, I talked about a real happiness, true happiness, not only small happiness, very deep and true happiness I talked about. And I hope everyone will stay spiritually happy in hearing and receiving the Buddha Dharma. Thank you for listening to my message. Enjoy me. Gassho, please. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Namanda Buddha. Namanda.